This video is just going to quickly show you how to sew the cuffs on. So basically what I've done here is I've sewn the cuff together on a 1 centimeter, and I'm not going to overlock that seam because I want to open the seam. So I put my hands in on either side, like this, and then I take my thumbs and I open the seam nicely, and then I close this like that and hold this one. So hold that like that, and then flip this over so that my seams are still open on the inside and nice and neat. And this is flipped over, so now I'm basically making this into a cuff. So I just try and get all my pieces, all my edges together. And then I'm going to divide this into 4 just so that it goes into my sleeve equally. So start by putting a pin here on those 2 guys there. So holding that together, and then I fold it in half. So starting at that point there, fold this nicely in half. Just make sure both layers are the same. So fold that in half, and now I'm going to put a pin over here. Just want to line it up nicely. So I put a pin there. So now I have 2 parts. So it's divided into 2 at the moment. So I'm going to put these 2 on top of each other and work to the sides again. Put a pin here and another one on the other side, so that I now have 4. Just want to make sure these are all lined up properly. And so now this is divided equally into 4 parts. Then I take my sleeve and I do the same. So this is my sleeve on my garment. So starting at the underarm seam, I put a pin over there. So that's my halfway mark. Work my way to the other side. Open it up to find the other 2 marks so that it's even. It's nice and even. And then I'm going to take my cuff with the raw edge side up and put it onto my hand like this. The pins are up like that. Then I take my sleeve and I grab it like that and I pull it through. So I pull the cuff down, and then it's just a matter of matching your marks because your cuff is slightly smaller. So you want to be able to pull as you sew, so that when you sew it in, it's sewn in evenly all the way around. So I just match my marks. I put pin on pin. So I'll see here, my cuff is that much smaller. So when I sew, I'm going to just pull it so that they're the same. So for now, I'm just doing a dot to dot. So I'm just matching each pin with each pin. So lining the 2 pins up, take the 1 pin out, and use the other pin to pin the cuff on. Keep going all the way around. And then I'm going to sew it first on the sewing machine, so on a straight line. Fit that over my sewing machine, sew a straight line all the way around, and then overlock it, and then my cuffs will be done. Okay, so what I realized here with the sleeve is normally I would feed it around this guy over here, but it's a little bit too tight. I can kind of really squeeze it, so it just depends on what size hoodie you're making. But just to show you another way to do it, so because I can't get it on that way, I find that if I were to sew now like this, my pins keep falling out. So the easiest way is actually to sew from the inside. So I'm putting it into my machine like this. So I'm sewing from the inside, and that allows me to actually pull this nicely so that I can see that this is now the same, because remember my rib is slightly smaller. So it's actually much easier to sew from the inside. I'll do my back stitch just now, because then I have control over these pins, they don't fall out, and it's just much easier to handle. So when I do the overlocking, I'll do it the same. So I'll also hold it like this from the inside and overlap the sleeve. It's just an easier way to do it. There we go, ready for overlocking.